Zimbabwe is a land of striking contrasts, where ancient and recent natural and built environments coexist. In the news, we hear and read about Zimbabwe as a country facing significant political challenges, but it is also a country with rich history, vibrant cultures, remarkably varied landscapes, and incredible biodiversity. We don't hear in the news that Zimbabwe is home to some of the world's most majestic natural and cultural wonders, with a long history of conservation and significant recent wildlife success stories. Zimbabwe lies within the Miombo ecoregion, one of WWF's 35 highest priority areas. Situated within the tropics of southern Africa, Zimbabwe is dominated by a high inland plateau, or veld, that drops to the Zambezi River Valley. Though Zimbabwe is landlocked, major bodies of water include Lake Kariba and Victoria Falls, both on the western border with Zambia. The Miombo woodland is a dominant vegetation type that covers 1.4 million square miles, 3.6 million square kilometers, spreads over 10 countries of southern Africa, and is globally recognized for its biological diversity and potential for nature-based tourism. The woodland is linked to the Zambezi River and its tributaries, and provides crucial life support systems for over 65 million people. Several of southern Africa's iconic national parks, Hwange, Chobe, South Luangwa, Lower Zambezi, and Mana pools, with their globally significant populations of megafauna, for example, elephant, rhino, lion, buffalo, and leopard, and flora are found in the Miombo woodland. Miombo is the Swahili/Bantu word for Brachystegia, a genus of large trees that characterizes this African woodland. The term is now used to cover other associated vegetation types found in southern Africa. 65% of Zimbabwe is covered by Miombo woodlands, though the landscape is surprisingly diverse, from the lush green forests of the eastern highlands to the arid savannas of the lowveld. 5 UNESCO World Heritage Sites lie within Zimbabwe's borders, including the majestic Victoria Falls and the Mana Sapi Chiwor Biosphere, a vast protected area that encompasses Mana Pools National Park and the private Sapi Reserve. Have you dreamed of standing before the thunderous majesty of Victoria Falls, exploring the ancient ruins of Great Zimbabwe, or spotting abundant wildlife in Hwange National Park? Or maybe you'd prefer to glide up the Zambezi River to Lake Kariba, where hippos gather and crocodiles bask along the water's edge on a Zimbabwe river cruise. All of this, and much more, awaits in Zimbabwe. As a result, Zimbabwe is one of the most biodiverse countries in Africa, with more than 10 national parks and several private reserves that host over 800 species of mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish in diverse habitats ranging from savannas to forests, mountains to rivers across Zimbabwe. You may encounter the Big Five: elephant, lion, leopard, rhinoceros, and buffalo, as well as endangered species such as wild dogs, cheetahs, and black rhinos. Zimbabwe is home to the second largest elephant population in the world. Only neighboring Botswana has more. It also has one of the largest populations of rhinoceros in southern Africa, and the third largest individual black rhino population in the world. Over 670 bird species have been spotted there, as well as over 150 species of fish. Zimbabwean safari expert guide Bulisani, known as Buli Mathe, loves sharing his country with travelers who visit Zimbabwe to explore southern Africa's vast expanses of wild terrain, including Lake Kariba, the world's largest man-made lake. In Nathab's short film, Conservation in Zimbabwe, a NatHab guide story. He shares a glimpse into safaris in Zimbabwe. The wildlife in Zimbabwe keeps me on my toes. The diversity of game and the movement of game and the dynamics makes it more adventurous as you explore the beauties of the surrounding. The sheer quietness, the bird calls, the sound of the lake, the water, the aura of being in an environment that is calm and worrying, less about the sounds of the big cities and sirens and all that. This is an element that excites a part of you that is rarely discovered. It takes you back to what the native people back in the day before all this development used to explore and enjoy as the natural spaces. Large local communities and abundant wildlife have lived on this land together for tens of thousands of years. Archaeological evidence of arrowheads and cave paintings in present-day Zimbabwe suggests humans have lived there for over 100,000 years. The first known inhabitants of the region were the San people, followed by Bantu farmers about 2,000 years ago. In the 10th century, the Shona people dominated the Zimbabwean plateau, making it the center of the Shona states. Evidence of their lives remains today in the Great Zimbabwe UNESCO World Heritage Site, a medieval stone city covering 2.79 square miles in the southeastern hills near Lake Mutarikwi. Construct